express yourself a certain way that was really dark and frustrating to process.
Yeah.
You know, and now I've seen so many shadows of that in like whatever, some like long sordid career. I've seen that in so many different ways in myself, or you know what I mean? Just being a woman with an opinion and that kind of a thing, and like especially like big hair and you know personality, and it's kind of like whoa, you know, like men are just. I mean, it's just a specific business. I think in a lot of ways. Anyway, sorry.
I remember when we were trying to finish the movie, an executive, who will go unnamed, came to the cutting room and said that he was upset, he was concerned about the scene where Natasha pees and you can hear the pee and then she wipes herself. And I was like, oh, and he said, and I'm not the only one. We took a poll in our office at the studio, and a lot of people, and women too, they don't like it. And I was like, but she's peeing and wiping herself. Like, what else would she do? Yeah. He was just really freaked out by it. And he was really fixated on it. And just the fact that he was so, I mean, I was like, what? Why is that a problem?
And didn't it happen again with the blood on the seat? Wasn't that another
one?
Yeah,
then
that
menstrual thing.
Right?
Like, it was like gynophobia world or something.
And it was just like, so you're choosing to make this movie. It was
so weird. I was like, well, yes, you know, it's all about her body sort of starting to do this thing and taking over, and she doesn't know how to, you know, manage it. And yeah, it was like, do we have to hold on the shot of the blood for that long? Can we trim a few frames off of it? There was just lots of stuff like that. It was weird.
Were they afraid that it would resonate with young girls as real life?
I think they thought it was gross. Just like, ew, like they were
like
children. Like vaggy, weird, I don't want to know. And like, you think about like girls now,
that's
or
what
whatever.
I was just thinking of.
I was like, I had like a little blood on a stupid thing, or she like pulls out like a Kotex pad, or like, you know, it's, I don't know, I guess it was before its time. But
how much of the movie do you feel like you got to like make?
I don't
know,
what percent?
Or like, I mean, just I'm thinking about, like, I just watched that Modern Romance, right, that Albert Brooks movie the other day, and then there was, like, I was watching it with some friends, and we were talking after the movie about, like, oh, yeah, I guess it wasn't a hit, which didn't really occur to me, you know, because it's, I don't know, in my time, it just very much feels like that's a hit. But and then I think it's almost like a testament to the fact that he sort of stuck with his guns and essentially made some weird stalker picture on accident, you know, or intentionally, that it sort of really holds up, you know, and I think that's an interesting thing. It's like a little piece at a time. We slowly get to a point where suddenly it's like, girls, and like, damn, you know, there's the inside. And like, you know, I really think it's like slowly we chip away at all this sort of uptight stuff. But I'm curious how much of the movie you feel you got to make.
Well, I don't know. I just, the resistance is kind of a very strong memory of the experience. But I think that anytime you make any kind of movie, resistance is sort of a huge part of it, and also learning how to deal with it and knowing how to defend yourself, which I don't think although I was like, well, she's peeing, and you know, as much as I could defend myself to such absurd things, I mean, those are like the crazy things that were happening, but it was also happening on different levels of kind of, and also not knowing my rights, not that you have rights, because you don't, but not knowing how to like, I never had to defend myself to such an extent and like they were paying for it. It was so complicated for me to put together. I was like, oh, so it's their money, so I have to do what they say, but I'm the director, so don't I get like...
I mean, I think it stays weird. I feel like, you know, just speaking as as an actress for hire, I feel like it stays weird, because essentially it's like you're, you know, picked out of the lineup in the first place to be sort of, you know, sort of like this one is unlike the others. Let's bring her over here and put a camera in front of it. And then you get there and they're kind of like, make it like the others, you know, is essentially the note. Like, you know, why do you have to be so wild and have your own vocabulary? And, your own opinions, like, and it's just, I think
Why
that's,
did they cast you?
yeah,
That's what you're thinking.
well, not even why did they cast, but why do they continue, because you're sort of like standing in the mix and you're supposed to like walk down some red carpet looking like, 17 other people, but I'm just saying, all like, overall, the idea is like they, pick out all these individuals, which is really what the arts in theory are supposed to be about, and in any, is like expressing oneself, and that's kind of why they are like, okay, you make a movie, Tamara, as opposed to someone else, and then you get there, and they're like, we changed our mind, we'd like a much more watered down version, and I just think that that's such a strange phenomenon in and of itself.
Have you noticed any of that